You're lying in bed, lights off, phone 6 inches from your face. You open your banking app for the fourth time tonight because apparently numbers become more real when you keep staring at them. And there it is, 4 digits, $1,003.42. You did it. You finally crossed the line that used to feel fake. Not rich, not I own a yacht now, just breathing room. The kind that makes your shoulders drop for the first time in months. For about 12 minutes. Then the world notices. Your car starts making a new sound. Your group chat suddenly wants a trip. Your brain, which has been eating stress for breakfast, now whispers, "Come on, you deserve something." And honestly, it has a point. When you've spent months saying no, scarcity turns every little reward into a moral victory. Suddenly, a $70 dinner feels like healing. A new phone feels like closure. A weekend away feels like mental health. The system loves this moment, by the way, because the second you look stable, every app, lender, card, and shiny payment plan starts treating you like a customer again. That's the catch with your first $1,000. It feels like the finish line, but it's actually the point where the rules change. Before $1,000, the problem is obvious. You don't have enough margin. After $1,000, the problem gets sneakier. Now you have something to lose, and the world is weirdly good at helping you lose it. Not with one huge disaster, with 10 tiny permissions. Hitting the number feels like winning. But this is where most people either build a floor under their life or step right through it. And if that sounds familiar, good, because you are not broken. You're basically normal. Most people in America would struggle to cover even a relatively small surprise expense with cash, and a lot of people are nowhere near on track for retirement. So if money has felt like a treadmill that occasionally catches fire, congratulations, that's almost everyone right now. Think of $1,000 like the top of the first hill on a roller coaster. Getting there is hard. You're grinding, skipping stuff, moving money around like a tired air traffic controller. But the moment you reach the top, gravity changes. The danger is no longer can I get there, it's can I keep from rolling backward. Most people treat the first $1,000 like a finish line because pain makes milestones feel final. But money milestones are almost never final, they're foundations. A finish line says, relax. A foundation says, cool, now don't build the house on pudding. And the system is tuned so most people never wander too far from fragile, because fragile people are profitable. Overdrafts are profitable, revolving balances are profitable. The rich tax no one calls a tax is being forced to make expensive choices because you don't have cash when life gets annoying. That's why being broke is so expensive. When you don't have a buffer, every problem becomes a premium version of itself. Car repair? Put it on a card. Need time? Buy convenience. Short on groceries? Smaller purchases at worse prices. No emergency fund doesn't just hurt once, it keeps recharging itself like the world's worst subscription. My name is Banan. I'm obsessed with how money actually works once real life gets involved. Not the fantasy version, the version where you have bills, bad timing, group chats, and a brain that suddenly wants a treat because you survived Tuesday. This is education and entertainment only, not financial advice. I'm not an advisor, and before you make major money decisions, talk to a qualified professional. Here's what changes when you hit $1,000. Phase 1 is mechanical. Earn, cut, save, repeat. The mission is clear. You are trying to prove to yourself that a cash buffer can exist. Phase 2 is emotional. Now the goal is not just saving money, it's protecting identity. Because once you become someone with savings, you start acting differently, and so does everybody else. You feel safer, which is good. But safety has side effects. It lowers your guard. It makes optional spending feel smaller. It makes future you look stronger than current you. So you say yes faster. You round up your lifestyle. You stop checking prices as hard. Not because you're dumb, because your nervous system is exhausted and it wants evidence that the struggle meant something. Reward after scarcity feels justified. The problem is when every reward comes out of the same tiny pile that was supposed to protect you from chaos. Then there's the outside pressure. Banks love a stable looking person. Apps love a stable looking person. Stable-looking people click, they finance, they subscribe, they upgrade. And even when people finally get a little money moving in the right direction, they often leave it sitting around doing nothing or drift into expensive mistakes, not because they're lazy, because inertia is powerful and the boring move gets delayed. That's the lesson. You need rules. Because without rules, emotion makes the calls, and emotion is a terrible CFO. Great for karaoke, horrible for capital allocation. The math here is not sexy, which is exactly why it works. $1,000 invested and left alone at a decent long-term return can turn into around $10,000 over a few decades. Add just $100 a month to that, and now you're talking about real compounding. Money starts earning on itself. And over time, the boring snowball beats the dramatic sprint. And boring usually wins because behavior matters more than people want to admit. A lot of investors don't lose because their investments were terrible, they lose because their timing is. Buying excitement, selling fear, parking long-term money in cash because they forgot one final step, doing weird things at the worst possible time. So picture two people. Alex hits $1,000 and feels unstoppable. Alex has been stressed for years, so Alex upgrades a few things. Nothing insane. Better takeout, a weekend trip. A small balance sits on the card because next month will be easier. Then the tire blows. Then the deductible happens. Suddenly, the $1,000 didn't fail, it just got assigned too many jobs. Alex isn't reckless, Alex is normal. No floor, no rules, back to zero. Jordan hits $1,000 and does something less exciting. Jordan names it emergency floor, untouchable except for actual emergencies. Then Jordan starts a second layer, growth money. Tiny at first, automatic, boring. The first 1,000 stays still. The next dollars start building options. When life punches Jordan in the face, there's still a floor. And because the floor survives, stress goes down. Decisions improve. That's how wealth usually starts, not with a giant leap, with one protected layer that stops the backslide. The playbook is simple. 1. Make your first $1,000 a floor, not a flex. 2. Keep it in a boring, safe place you can reach fast. 3. Start a separate growth layer so investing and emergencies stop fighting in the same account. 4. Automate something, even if it's tiny, because willpower is a scam after a long workday. 5. Get very suspicious when the world starts selling you comfort right after you become slightly stable. Because the real value of $1,000 is not the number, it's the options. It's the pause before panic. It's being able to say, annoying but survivable. That changes your decisions, your confidence, your tolerance for nonsense. So yes, hitting your first $1,000 matters, probably more than you think. But the real catch is this. The moment you reach it, your job changes. You are no longer just trying to save it, you are trying to defend the first piece of financial ground you have ever owned. Protect your first $1,000 like it's the floor, not the finish line.